And I must do 0063 back for part 8 of I Want to Be the Permanence. Last time we took out the 7th area in the top right, which was Dead the Hyper, which was for a troll trap area, kind of fun. I really enjoyed that. The music helps as well. Awesome Concrete Man remix of Mega Man 9. But yeah, and well, as I say, considerably more fun and easier than the first time playing it through, because I think I did a pretty good job actually remembering where the majority of the traps were there. So yeah, that area is pretty fun. Not that it actually isn't even with the traps stuff like that, because it's unlike, for instance, the Two-Town Mao area, it doesn't feel like it's traps with needle all over the place. Yes, there are some tricky a few tricky jumps to pull off, but it didn't feel needle going through. So in that essence, it felt far less frustrating than the Two-Town Mao area, despite there being fewer traps and that one being considerably shorter. So, but anyway, 7 areas done, 1 left, and we're going to be going bottom middle, and we've got I Want to Be the Nature, which is split sort of, well, you'll see when we get there, but yeah, there's sort of 2/3 of this area is this sort of style, and then about 1/3 of the way from the end we get into a different style, which is slightly unusual, slightly bemusing, not quite sure why it's done like that, but anyway, who cares? Let's move on. Well, actually, I do care, I do wonder why it was done like that, but anyway. Don't get your hopes up about this being ridiculously easy just yet, or indeed at any point in time during the stage, despite my apparent ease at clearing the first screen. I actually feel like, funnily enough, this first area, which does actually feel much more naturey than the sort of the second, the third of the area. But I would probably tend to prefer this area than, let's say, than the final third, just in terms of like look, aesthetic, and such like that. But it still has its tricky moments. I feel it's got like a few kind of unusual obstacles and things you have to kind of get past as well, which the other area, not that it doesn't have them, but in fact it has a few recurring things that we'll see actually in both areas. But for whatever reason, I'd really like to not mess up on the final jump on this screen. For whatever reason, I probably just tend to prefer the first 2/3 rather than the last third. For some reason, it just felt way less frustrating. At least first time round. Who knows how it'll feel this time round? Although I've got a feeling the last screen, admittedly, or the last 2 screens, to be more accurate, could cause next to no. It could still cause next to no frustration. Ding it! I don't actually see another save on this screen, so it isn't all in one go one. But there doesn't seem like there's too much. I'm hoping, at least, that's very tricky on this screen. So here's hoping it won't take too long. The back end of the previous screen was actually taking was starting to take way longer than I thought it would have done. But anyway, still wasn't into disaster territory. Let's put it that way. No, good. Didn't think that looked too difficult at all. Okay, moving on. Well, what's your poison? Do you prefer the lower route or the higher route? I guess the lower route, obviously, if you can pull off the corner, is going to be considerably... Is that one going to be the align? Probably. I don't know, though, so again, we'll have maybe a few goes at this. If this doesn't work, we can always obviously just take the... That one doesn't seem to be working, so let's try that one. Who knows what the bloody align is? I'm sure many of you do. Maybe it's even this one. I have no idea. That one actually looked pretty good. Let's go with that if I mess up again. So it's this one. Let's actually just do that and save as well, just so I don't have to keep doing it every now and then. Again, not that it's like that's tedious to do, but still wonderful. Actually, line up against the other wall anyway. And again, maybe, who knows? Judging from this, maybe it wasn't even anything to do with the align. Maybe it was just the fact that I pulled it off as a decent jump. I don't know. That's now starting to get on my nerves to a sufficient point that I actually kind of thinking, well, let's just screw that one and we'll do it the long way round. Because hey, it's obviously a lot longer, but don't have to do that stupid kind of corner jump there. I say stupid, but probably not that bad, but still. Had a few goes at it. Whatever line I was picking didn't seem to do very well, so either I was just picking terrible lines or I was just doing terrible at the jump. Either is very possible, but regardless, the best strategy for me there ended up being to take the higher route. I don't think I actually messed up on that. I think that was the first go on the higher route, but as I say, no real awkward jumps on that high route at all. Oh, that was bad. I missed the platform on the way down. Dang it. Anyway, moving on. We have protruding spikes. So, that jump in between that I just cleared there, to be honest, that feels like really the only particularly tricky bit on this screen, I think, from memory. Assuming there's no trap or anything that comes out of flying out of nowhere. I don't know why I just stood on the edge of that platform, just admiring the scenery, admiring the nature, not doing anything about the spike that was going to be ramming up my backside. But oh well. But, okay, maybe. Well, I feel like that jump caused me some problems previously, but not so much at the moment now. Here's hoping it won't. We've got a fair way through at this point in time now. Ding it! But yeah, the other ones, everywhere else is pretty much just about standing on the edges of the ledges. Obviously, that's where the spike, when the spike rises up, they're obviously going to be filling the middle of the ledge, and obviously not so much. Why did I not jump there? It was awful. Yeah, not so much on the edge of the ledges. So yeah, teeter on the edge of the ledges. That's where you want to aim with your jumps when you're making your way through here, and yeah, hopefully it won't take too long. But well, yeah, we're not into. Yeah, this hasn't taken that long yet. We're not into disaster territory or anything like that yet. So not to say that we won't get there, but we're not there yet. Okay, last jump. Let's just wait for that spike to go pretty much to the lowest point it possibly could, and jump over it. Nice. Okay, moving on. So now we get a bit of extra stuff to deal with. So we've got Krakow here with. Oh no, that timing did work out. Okay, that probably isn't. Oh, it did. Nice. Oh no, and I fell into Krakow's thunder effect. Blair, that was bad. Yeah, having done what I thought was a pretty poor job on timing this out. Which is now going to cause me all manner of problems. I know it is. Again, that first go thing, where you just sort of do it, not in a panic, but you just sort of again just react completely on instinct, and everything just seems to work out really nicely. Then when you try and deliberate over it, make a specific movement at a specific time, everything falls apart. But anyway, we've got yeah these oh my god, that was one of the worst jumps I've ever done. Just I don't even know what on earth happened there. That was just so bad on so many different counts, it was ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, we have got Krakow and the lightning or thunder or whatever that he's shooting down to avoid. We've also got these fire enemies to have to avoid as well. When we got down to this area, you obviously see that not only the area behind me, but the area where we would actually going to get out of here gets blocked off. So we need to just to keep shooting away at this tree. It does have the sort of invincibility frame, so just keep pummeling away at the tree. Is not going to do anything. You'll have to take your time over it. So you wait about 2 seconds or so after you've shot it once for the invincibility frame to go away, and then continue. If you just keep mashing the shoot button, you're not going to do it any quicker. So yeah, conserve your energy. Okay, this is probably going to get me first time because the timing here is probably going to suck. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, fine. Basically what happened here is, again, we're getting close and we have to take out this tree again. I mean, nothing difficult about that. The difficulty comes from Krakow. If you look over on the right-hand side of the screen, that flung away to the left now. He keeps shooting that thunder down, or that lightning down. So if the timing just works out horribly there, and the thunder or the lightning is all the way down when he's sweeping across all the way in that little area that you're trapped in there, yeah, good luck with that. I don't know whether you could actually fake out Krakow with the not reach the top ledge, if you will, there. Yeah, so that he sweeps along and avoid it. I'm not sure, but yeah, the timing there, a little bit of a thing to work out. Okay, last little trap here. I think we're good with doing it this way. Yes, good. So if I can go back, yes. So both those pieces of fruit come flying at me. You can't outrun the first one, so just do a little dip jump back into there. I mean, thankfully I've gone and hit the save anyway. We could probably could just demonstrate that again, actually, now. So yeah, dip in there for the first one, and then you can outrun the second one. So yeah, at least that's how I like to do that. You obviously could actually, I think, backtrack to the right-hand side, back over the twin spikes and everything like that, so to get right out of the way of them. But I feel like it's more trouble than it's worth. Doing one dip jump through the faster-moving cherry is yeah, not too much trouble at all, really. So that's how I prefer to do that one. Right, final screen of the what looks like a nature area. So it's not the entire area, the final screen of the entire area, but the one that certainly looks naturey. And apologies if this is a bit of an ear sore. But yeah, we've now basically, once you start off, we have all these birds that keep spawning in, squawking, and we're going to have to, ding it, we're going to have to fail on the right next to the warp right at the end. That last little bit, though, is kind of tricky to time out. Obviously, you can see the warp there on the bottom of the screen there, but unfortunately, a couple of spikes actually rise up when you're on the way down. So, yeah, it's a bit of a thing to have to avoid the... What? That was terrible. I obviously don't want to be that quick, maybe, in getting up there. Or wait another cycle or something, because, I don't want to be at the point in time where those two birds were, because that was, seemed almost impossible to avoid. Just wait one more cycle or something. And hopefully I won't get screwed over by that again. Yeah, anyway, going down, oh, that was terribly positioned. I lost track of completely the points on the screen where the birds were going to spawn in. Just double jump right into one. That was terrible. Missed my jump up to the ledge. Fantastic. Anyway, getting in the warp is a little tricky. You have to fake out the birds, stunt your descent, and obviously the two spikes on the floor that rise up are annoying. Okay, I think I'm just going to wait that out each time now. That does seem to work out quite nicely. Is that good? Yes. I feel like I jumped there too early and I nearly careened straight into one of the bloody birds again there, but anyway, worked out really nicely, although I actually thought I'd messed up there. But anyway, moving on. As you can see, we enter the warp here and we enter this area, which is obviously blue background and everything like that, and completely different looking from the... What the hell was that? What on earth was that? Oh, good grief. Completely different from the... Oh, okay, well I didn't remember that trigger. Let's hope we haven't got an abundance of triggers in this area. I don't remember there being as such. If there are other ones, they're probably gonna catch me out. That's gonna be worrisome. Not that one. That one I could see coming a mile away. That one, there's tons of room there to avoid that. Yeah, it's very slow moving, so that one was fine. I saw that spike moving out the corner of my eye, but okay, I was not really expecting or remembering too much about there being triggers here. Although now I'm on this screen, absolutely, but with specific obstacles, not just your bog standard spikes. I guess we'll see that as we make our way through. But anyway, very different looking area and doesn't really look very naturey at all. Okay, I don't even know why I double jumped on there on the way down there, but I mean obviously now that I know that spike is going to move, that's obviously going to be helpful. But first time round, not quite sure why I even bothered with that. But anyway, okay, fine. We are going to have some triggers. But this one is one I am going to remember. So these two things up here are going to trigger down. So we need to fake those out and then move on. And then move on. Can we rush this? Good. Yeah, I don't fancy piddling about there at the beginning, having to wait for that. To align perfectly. If we just move off straight from the beginning, we can go without having to wait. That's nice. Here's hoping I'm not piddling around for ages on this F jump. I don't know what the hell happened there. I just failed to backtrack. That was awful. Oh boy. I'm actually looking further down now, and I do remember one. I do remember one of the trolls here. So hopefully that's I'll remember. I'll keep that thought in mind when we get there. But anyway. Right, I want to time this ideally when its wings are down, and ideally not jump into the block above my head so that my any semblance of momentum and height gets stunted. So yay. Yeah, but that can be a bit tricky to actually jump over this bloody bird. So wings go up quite some distance, and not the easiest thing to avoid, particularly with that low ceiling there. Really? The other thing I'm worried about actually is the getting past Krakow on the right hand side of the screen. It's, from memory, that was a hell of a thing to time out. Okay, this thing's going to come flying at me, so we're just going to fake that out. Right, so getting in between this gap with obviously the intermittent thunder and lightning and this spike that's going up and down. Every time I feel like there's a good opportunity, oh no, I didn't remember that. Are you joking? Oh, it feels like with that crack, with the between the cracker and the thunder and from the cracker and the spike. It honestly feels like every time it looks like there's a good time to move, or it doesn't look like there's a good time to move. The spike sort of just goes down a lot slower than what I was expecting, and actually it is almost like the perfect opportunity. So I just end up sort of just hanging around and waiting out in that area for way longer than I need to. But every time I feel like it's not going to work out, actually when you look at it, when you don't move and set off for it, it actually looks like it would have been fine. Really, I died on that fall. Okay, That was awful. Here's hoping next time I get past... Oh, come on. Here's hoping next time I get past Krakow, we should be fine. I do remember, one troll that is after that, but the rest of it is just platforming, and I don't think it's that difficult, but who knows? I'm probably easily liable to mess up on it. But yeah, the bloody bird and the Krakow lightning bit. Awkward sections on this screen, definitely. As unfortunately is the F jump proving as well. Wow, that flew down a lot lower than what I was expecting. Yeah, like not there obviously, but this feels like it's actually going to take quite a while now to sync up. I think next, no, that's awful. And now that one, again, this feels like now it's going to take ages to sync up. I feel like next go should be fine. Maybe, yeah, that would have been fine. But now it's not. Okay, next go. And yeah, I knew almost certain that was going to happen. Tiny hop jump. Don't like them. Never been good at doing anything to do with tiny hops. I'm actually surprised that I pulled off the jump. I must admit, first go, I was fully expecting to jump into Krakow. Even when you obviously got it perfectly aligned. It's a little bit akin to a gate jump, even without the spike on the floor there. And yay, very easy to jump into Krakow. Yeah, this, for whatever reason, I feel like this area, or this final third just feels like it's considerably more difficult, and ultimately just because of that, likely to be much more frustrating than what the area that actually looks like it's naturally. Yeah, I don't like this. You can't shoot again. The instinct is to like not shoot at things because but sometimes that does end up being like the answer to solutions. So not in this case. I mean, oh my god, I thought I messed that up. Let's not forget this troll. That block is fake. And let's jump into that spike. Fantastic. I've got to now do the whole lot again because I messed up on the last bit. Are you kidding me? I should never mess up on that. That was horrible. That was actually horrible. And if we can pull off the Krakow section again, not too much longer, then that'll be good, I suppose. And indeed get there and not mess up on that one. We're going to mess up on literally everything, are we? Fantastic. Yay, we are. Wonderful. I can't believe that now. Oh dear. Why did I have to mess up on the last bit? Did I even try and just do that in a silly way? Should I have actually tried to... Again, it's one of those ones where I'm like scared of doing it with a double jump because I feel like I could just press the jump button too much, bonk my head on the ceiling, and then just fall into the spike really stupidly. So I actually just tried to do that with a single jump and a fall. But I feel like that's the best way for me to try to do it. But okay, we're going off to the next one. Okay, I should probably get myself set in a time there where I know that actually that's going to work. Okay, good. I didn't mess that up now. We're going to make sure I hit the save because it didn't look like I actually did first time I got down there. So, yay. Moving on. Anyway, yeah, that wasn't, well, I don't know. That felt quite bad. I don't know. Wasn't a disaster again though. I feel like I'm using that word quite a lot. But anyway, yeah, that was. Okay, I didn't remember that. I remembered this because otherwise that gate jump is absolutely horrid. But yeah, I forgot about the fake floor there. And I forgot about Krakow coming in. Lovely. Well, that does remind me that there is indeed another trap at the end there, which with the spike, another spike that's actually going to fly to the right-hand side as well that I need to pay attention to and watch out for. So yeah, at least Krakow there reminded me of something else that was going to happen. I got into that! I wasn't quick enough to get past that spike. Are you joking me? Oh boy. Okay. I feel like I need to calm down because, the last screen's probably going to get on my nerves as well. This isn't getting on my nerves, but well, not at the moment anyway. But yeah, no, a few tricky bits and pieces, and I say certain areas that have taken obviously quite a bit of time to get through. So yay, or not yay, losing my cool on a few areas. Really? I mean, I know it's a dip gate jump to some extreme, but it's not that bad. Right, go a bit quicker this time, thank you. Right, and it still got me, even though I knew it was there. Okay, not actually quite sure exactly what the perfect strategy for that one is then. So yeah, that's obviously fine for Krakow. Okay, maybe just needs to be a bit more over the right hand side there, or just time a double jump out better. I'm not quite sure, but anyway, yeah, I knew it was there. It still got me. Maybe that's a bit trickier than I gave it credit for. Okay, last section of the area. Although admittedly it is a double screen, and yeah, this could take a while. This was not fun. First time out. There are a few tricky manoeuvres here on this first screen. This being, well, I don't know, maybe calling it that a tricky manoeuvre is going a bit too far. I don't know, but I definitely don't like the final spike there on the right hand side. That bit is absolutely awful. I don't want to do anything with this spider, but yeah, at my height, pretty much, the one first on the right-hand side, I hate getting through the gap between that spike and the ceiling there. That's awful. I had a nightmare first time I did this. You've frozen again for some weird reason. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Anyway, we're going to be very careful here. Apologies, I am not going to show off what happens if you mess up, hopefully at least anyway. Basically, every manoeuvre I've done there is to prevent a couple of gin bottles, or whatever they are, coming down from the ceiling to completely screw you over and get in your way. We're not out of the woods yet, because we've still got a couple of gin bottles to avoid, and we've got this last manoeuvre, which is not the easiest spike shaft to get down, but yeah, basically I did elongated jumps, and I didn't go from like below me and up to the left of above the spike that's going horizontally, because yeah, a couple of bottles would have come down, would have completely got in my way, and I don't think there's any way of getting past. So yeah, I went over the left hand side, pulled off a sort of a semi-F jump, and then did a very weird looking jump where I started off way far away from the edge of this ledge. I did that all deliberately to avoid any drinks bottles coming down. Bother! That's really friggin' annoying. That's a really, can be a really awkward little spike fall there. It's not the most intricate thing, but it's, I'm amazed I've actually done that twice now. And I've pited that. Are you joking me? Great. Admittedly, the water there possibly makes that a little bit trickier than it would be if there weren't water there, but I feel like I need to be quicker with that as well, but I'm not quicker there though, or not so quick to the point where I just mess up horribly. But yeah, I don't like that manoeuvre. And wow, I didn't even get to it there. Right, let's see if we can get to it this time. Yeah, I don't like that, and I don't like that. That one there, that one, I got so pissed off with that manoeuvre when I first did this. I just couldn't get the hang of it. And seriously, although I cleared it like the first 2 times, I think I got to it. This could now I could very easily now die 10 times in a row, if not more, to that manoeuvre. I have no sort of, like, decent-ish strategy for doing it, if you will. Right, here's hoping this goes all okay. I was actually very worried about the jump I made here. I was very worried I actually hadn't reached the platform, but yes! Good, we'll have to do that again. Yay. Right, time to take a pause here. I guess I will actually just save over there, so yeah, now I can fall straight in. So what I'm going to say first off is, this is easily the best boss of the 4 we've got here. It is an avoidance. I never thought I'd say that. Imagine me saying the best boss here, the one I have the most fun on, is an avoidance one. I don't know whether, because basically I feel like I'm going to have a new strategy here for actually how I'm going to put together and cut avoidance bosses. I'm not sure whether I'm going to employ it on this one per se. I probably will on another boss in this game, maybe not this one, or whether I guess we'll see how it goes. But I figure what I'm actually going to do, in fact, I'll tell you what, I'll talk about maybe my strategy for how I'm going to piece these together or do these as we go through here. I'll give this obviously a couple of goes first off, and if it ends up taking a bit of time, then yeah, that's what I'll talk about while we're actually doing it, so I've got something a bit more to talk about. So I'm waiting for a cue here, where the music sort of goes a bit much more rock, and then I'm going to go at the top here, and I'm going to dash, I'm going to fall through there. So I'm going to land the bottom corner, and I'm safe. Cool. I should at least try and talk about what's going through here. So For this bit, I want to be on the bottom, just avoid the fruit that's bouncing around. Obviously, I could just get enormously screwed over. I mean, again, I probably should have appreciated that that was going to happen, but I mean, seriously, that was just absolutely awfully placed. So anyway, yeah, this little bit here for the constant stream. I want to go about here. Then when the music starts going rock, jump up to here, find a gap here, fall to the bottom left, and then avoid all those. It seems to work out really nicely, and ultimately, yeah, that's my strategy for dealing with that bit every single time. Right, if we don't get screwed over here, find a safe spot. I would recommend on the bottom, somewhere on the bottom, yeah, you should be fine. I mean, this bit is just child's play. Single jump over this, spoon, and then go back, and then go over here. So am I in the wrong position here? Yeah, I want to be on the third block here because I think this gives us, yeah, it's the gap for that area. Then I want to not jump through that. Lovely. I have a fair idea of this boss's moves. I feel like the end bit is probably going to be the bit I'm going to need to practice on the most because I feel like that bit I don't know quite so well. But yeah, up to that point, up to most of it, I feel like I've got a fairly good strategy. So once again, now where the music starts going much more rock, up here, find a decent gap between those bits of fruit. Bottom left, Bob's your uncle. Right. Let's try and plan this out. Be careful here so that fruit doesn't go anywhere near me. I think we're all okay here. After a certain point in time, obviously you see that it just, yeah, it rises up a little bit and then drops. There's tons of room there. You shouldn't have any problem finding any gaps there. This move is just a bit, I don't really know why. But anyway, yeah, third block from the left, jump over this bit of fruit. The other ones you'll avoid. Then you'll avoid the pattern there. Then stay in the corner. Okay, now I want to be a little bit more on the right-hand side. Double jump through there. Blast! I caught the tail end of that bit, that last bit of fruit. Okay, I think that's working all okay. Obviously, other than the catching that last bit of fruit I got on, but yeah, I think I've got my strategy up at least until that point in time. Obviously, this wave, this constant stream is just homing in on me to where I'm positioned at a particular point in time. But yeah, it took me a while to figure out a decent-ish kind of strategy for doing it because it goes on quite a while, and I found myself at the top of the screen and getting screwed over. I'm actually going to move up here because wow, I didn't like the look of the ones on the bottom that were bouncing around because I thought there were two there that were going to cause me immense problems, but I ended up screwing up going in the middle anyway. Fantastic. This isn't the best because I'm way more over the right-hand side, left-hand side there than I want to be. But anyway, it's not too bad. Sort of backtrack there as I did to the right, but I'd rather be, all things equal, that's not very good at all. All things equal, I'd rather be on the right-hand side of the screen and just shifting on to the left. A little bit at a time. Okay, we should be fine here. None are really at the bottom too much. And yeah, that's pretty much fine. Yeah, you shouldn't have any problem finding a gap in that. And if you ever die to that move, then not quite sure what you're doing. Anyway, third block from the left, yeah. First and third cherries you'll be fine at. The second one you want to jump over. Right, so let's get this sorted this time. Don't think that's very good. Am I too late? Probably. Nope, it still works. Good. Okay, where do I want to be here? I think I want to be in the fifth block. Yep, good. I apologise, obviously, now that I've not been talking about the other moves as they've come through, but we're going to get to anyway because that attack there is one of my most disliked ones on this one, or at least one of the ones that I find is actually quite difficult for me to time out very well. I have a sort of a strategy for it, but it gets very hectic there. The diagonal ones come at you pretty quickly, and yeah, that can be kind of awkward. I guess I'll sort of not say too much at the moment now until we get back up to where we were. At the point where the furthest I got, it's going to be very difficult to describe while the move's not happening on screen, but where I think they were orange and white cherries came down and sort of filled. I don't like the look of that. I don't want to look at that either. Fantastic. That shouldn't cause me too many problems, but unfortunately, again, regrettably, bouncing projectiles, not my strong point, not my forte. I just have a huge issue being able to predict where bouncing projectiles are going to go. It's not good at all. Given how prevalent it is in fan games, particularly like avoidance bosses, it would be wonderful if I could get good at it, but it doesn't matter how much I sort of like do avoidances. I just never any good at avoiding bouncing stuff. It's ridiculous. Anyway, the orange and white ones, I think, that came down and sort of formed a bit of a blockade at the bottom. I want to get up to the top. I want to get up to the top there because they're eventually going to move up. But I also need to make a good double jump to avoid some homing cherries that come at me. Anyway, I'm not describing it very well. Hopefully we can get there again and I'll be able to describe it a bit more, a bit better. Also white, red and white. So yeah, I want to go up to this area here and I want to double jump over that bit of fruit and then all those ones, those extra ones that home in, go in a really nice area. So I want to be on this the block there, 4 from the left of the block, the platform on the middle. That seems to work out really nicely as a position to dodge the wave. And that was awful. What the hell did I do that for? Oh. Oh. Right, let's start talking about what I'm going to do strategy-wise for avoidances in the future. I figure what I'm actually going to do, I say possibly not on this boss again. We'll see how maybe long it takes. Well, obviously, well, actually, I can't do it now because I've already started going off. Wow, that was not what I wanted to do. I've deviated from what I would do. So I figure what I'm going to do in future is actually I'll talk about a move as it sort of first happens. I'll maybe do it as like 2 or 3 goes, showing off how I clear that move, and then I will cut to the next move, and then sort of talk about that. So at that point in time, it sort of feels like nothing is dragging on too much. Whereby I did not mean to jump that. Whereby I'm trying to figure out a train of thought here. Let me just concentrate on this for a minute. And did that? I got there way too late. Okay, that was horrible. Okay, let's get back on my train of thought. Let's try and get back there. Yeah, for example, so if I cleared this move, I would then get to the next move, try and talk about how I did that, and if I died, after it, I would go back to that point, talk about that move again for a few goes clearing it, and then cut to when I got after it without then talking about the next move, if that sort of makes sense. So that way I can sort of progress. It feels like just a nicer pace. So yes, I'm cutting, but it doesn't feel like I'm starting the avoidance all over again, filling dead air, talking about, for example, the first attack again, or this attack again, which I've talked about how I avoid now several times. So yeah, I feel like that's what I'm going to do going forward. But I guess obviously it's going to be dependent just every avoidance as it comes to see how it goes. But that's my plan. Yeah, okay, that was better. Although it still wasn't quite timed out how I wanted, or how I thought it was going to go. Yeah, there. To avoid those orange ones. Right, this is a bit tricky. And that was awful. Wow. Yay. That move probably is going to be likely to be the trickiest one. After that, up until the final move, actually, I feel like the rest is actually okay. Or I feel like I remember pretty well what to do. But I think, unfortunately, regrettably, I just don't have a very good strategy for dealing with that one where all the blue ones or the purple ones come diagonally down from the right-hand side. It's very... They just don't seem like there are many safe spots. And it feels really bloody awkward. This is horrible. Still managed to avoid it, but that was horrible. Yeah, because I'm already at this point in time, I'm feeling like I've got nothing to say really about the early stuff. And I'm wondering actually whether I'll end up cutting. Just, to sort of progress this on a bit. Again, we'll just kind of see how this plays out. But, okay, fine, good. And I'm not disappointed about that or anything like that. I'm fully prepared for avoidances for that to happen. So, yeah, it's sort of inevitable. After at a certain point in time. That was awful. I went too early. Okay, I got that felt like a better timing for the slow moving ones to find a gap for. This pattern is just horrendous, by the way. But yeah, obviously jumped a little bit too early, didn't find the gap. But yeah, that move is the one that I think that caused me the most trouble first time round. To a point. Not actually, probably the one that took the most time to figure out actually was the one with the red and white cherries come down and form that blockade. Because knowing, again, there's probably lots of different ways you could do it, but ultimately the way I ended up settling on clearing that by having to race up to the top and then do a double jump over one bit of fruit to find that they just all of a sudden sort of automatically home away from me. That's not immediately obvious at all. That took a bit of, just sort of playing around eventually to somewhat stumble across that, to be honest. Yeah, this one. So, hopefully I'm messing up on it now. But yeah, getting up to this point, jumping over that bit of fruit. And not jumping into that. Are you kidding? Wow. Leaving aside that ridiculous bit of clumsiness there, up until that point, the strategy that I worked out there, took a bit of time to come up with, because not immediately obvious by any means. This took a little bit of time as well, but frankly I feel like actually I was able to sort of survive that, just sort of almost doing a little bit of reaction, funnily enough, whereas the other bit, no, this is absolutely awful as well. Or maybe not. Maybe I made a bit more out of that than need be. Yeah, you know what? I'm actually going to cut until the purple diagonal one next time I die, because I sort of feel like I've talked about every other move and have nothing else to say on that. So yeah, next time I die, it's going to be back to the move that's causing me the problems. Yeah, don't jump that one. Don't jump too early there. That's just horrible and stupid. I was a bit over to the right-hand side there that I should have been. That was not good. Good. Right. This can be incredibly awkward to time out. And then for this bit, I want to jump over 3. Then I want to jump over 2 cherries, and then another 2. And then we should want to make our way to the middle-ish. Good. Right. Hover around about here, I guess, and just wait for when the fruit is going to start all of a sudden come up. Just find a safe spot, which that wasn't. Are you joking me? Wonderful. That was horrible. I don't know why I stood there. I don't know why. I clearly saw there was like literally no safe spot there whatsoever. Blah, that was horrible. Yeah. This is the first cut I think I have to make on this first 8 stages, which is kind of irritating. But as I say, this boss is obviously an avoidance one. I thought it was going to take some time. I thought they were going to be having to get back into the swing of it. But actually, I say again right now, even despite the cutting, although I'm now going to employ, this is easily still I think the best boss of the 4 here, and the one I actually enjoy the most. The other ones are just, particularly the skewer one and the cherry one, are just ugh. The other one in the NGH area is not bad. It's not like terrible per se, but it's not very interesting. This one, at least, yeah, I feel like it's actually enjoyable to a point. So yeah, despite the cutting that's now going to come, where I actually start talking about the moves again when they come. But yeah, still enjoy this one. Easily the best of the 4. Okay, so actually remembering to commentate when you get back to this point in time is something I'm not used to, so let's make sure we actually do that. Yeah, I feel like I've got a better strategy with that diagonal one now, at least with getting through the pattern initially. This bit is just all about probably trying to get up as quick as possible. Then when I'm up here, I want to jump 3 here, 2 here, and then another 2. As long as I get up at that point in time, then I'm fine. If I'm a bit later there, then that's not going to work out. But yeah, provided I follow the same timings and patterns, then I've got a fairly good strategy for that. Right, okay, we're not going to mess up this time. We are going to mess this up. Are you joking? I need to. All right, fine. I'm just going to move left then and get down. I never had that problem before. Did I jump down, or maybe it was just the fruit that was on the right-hand side that stuck around for way too long there? Oh, that was horrible. I don't think I recall ever dying to that, like that, where the bloody black one got me right at the start. All right, fine. We'll just hang around at the left-hand side of the screen then, or we'll go. Nah. Wow, really? Right, didn't mess up on that bit this time. Good. Right, let's just go left. Fine. Do the final move, which is a bit of a pain. Not gonna lie. I don't really have a what I would call a definitive strategy for this really either. Just sort of try and find the gaps as best I can. Maybe it isn't a pain. Maybe it isn't a pain. Let's get out of the way because those cherries are going to actually come circling back. And they actually might come circling back on the next screen, but let's just hang around here and wait for them to completely go away. That didn't take, yeah, just in case you're obviously curious, about another 10 minutes or so after I cut, so it didn't take too long. Obviously it's an avoidance as well, so I was spending about a minute getting through, so I'd say probably only about maybe another 7 or 8 attempts. So not too bad. Actually, I thought that final attack was going to cause a lot more problems, but funnily enough, just we're going off pure instinct there. It's heading sort of the left-hand corner. Not it's so far in the left-hand corner that obviously you've only got one direction to go at, so a little bit away from the corner, which allows you to move both left and right. There's a bit of a help there, and then it looked like I needed to move a little bit closer to the middle for the final 5 to 8 seconds or so. But actually, I was expecting that last attack to cause a few problems. But funnily enough, the gaps in the fruit all seem to be fairly lenient. So actually, maybe that last attack is nowhere near as bad as I thought. Yay, moving on. As I said, if you actually progressed here while the fruit pattern was still was still continuing, just rushed here, I don't think it would be in your way. I don't think it would kill you, at least when you sort of walked along this edge of on the floor of the screen. But they do arc back up, so I can't remember off of memory where they actually appear, but they appear somewhere around sort of here. So yeah, if they do appear here, actually where they're in your way, obviously just wait for them to get out of the way. If not, then obviously just proceed. But yeah, some of the red cherries at the end, or delicious fruit, does hang about. So yeah, just don't go gung ho if they happen to be in your way. Right, yay! That is all 8 areas done. I'm not overly disappointed about having to cut on that boss. It wasn't avoidance one. I thought I was going to anyway. I didn't obviously quite employ the full strategy there for how I'm now going to treat avoidance battles, but I think are going to cause me problems. Let's say avoidance battles are likely, or I think likely, to trip me up for a reasonable amount of time. Not ones, for example, like Wave. Well, I want to get Culture 2, which ended up taking longer than either Meltdown or Tear It, unbelievably. But yeah, all things equal, I would not have expected, for example, yeah, let's use that as a good example if I'm going to get cultured. I would not have employed that on Waves. I would have expected to clear that reasonably quickly without needing to resort to that. But for something like Tear It or the Meltdown one in the challenges section of I Want to Get Cultured 2, then that's when I would have done it, because I would not expect to clear those particularly quickly at all, although it didn't work out that way. Meltdown on like 3rd or 4th go. And Tear It only took about 6-7 minutes as well. It was ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna try and do with avoidances now. It just means that I'm not feel like I'm feeling dead air at the beginning of it, going over old ground, talking about, for example, the first attack, which if I kept talking about, would do so for countless times. So yeah, deal with a move for a certain number of times to the point where I feel like I've covered it more than enough, and then move on and cut to when I get back to the next move and start talking about that. I actually feel like that works out pretty well in the sense that, yeah, it just means I'm not having to completely redo the beginnings all over again and hopefully be boring to watch. So yeah, that's a new strategy for avoidances that I'm hoping to employ for ones I think are going to trip me up for a fair amount of time, and that includes another boss that's upcoming in this game. But anyway, getting way ahead of myself. That is the 8 areas complete. Yay! We have seen another warp up there at the top. That will kick off the, I won't say 9th area or the final area, because it's I guess final area, but it is very long. It's split into lots of different areas within the area, if you will. So yeah, we've got a final path, I suppose, if you will. No choices to make now. We are on one linear path, which as far as I'm aware, but it is a long final path. So yeah, we've got lots of areas to clear. Lots more bosses to do. There's another 4 bosses to actually deal with as well on this final path. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and that is what we will be tackling next. But as I say, we're certainly not going to be doing, as I've been doing at the moment, one stage per video. No chance whatsoever that I'm clearing the entirety of the final path in just the next video. That will likely be... I might even do it so it's spread apart with the platforming and a boss. I don't know, so that might be another 4 parts. Depends how terrible the platforming and all the bosses go. But yeah, maybe the final path is either split into another 4 videos. But yeah, I guess we'll just see how it goes. If it goes phenomenally well, and I manage to clear like the first area and the boss within 10 minutes, then maybe not. But yeah, wishful thinking, I imagine. So yeah, I guess we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, hope you'll join me next time for at least the commencement of the final path. And yeah, until then, cheerio.